wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Now, some quick sports. We got to congratulate Sue Bird. She's the first WNBA player honored with a statue. On Sunday, the Seattle Storm unveiled the outside Climate Pledge Arena statue of Bird shooting a layup in her Storm jersey. So, congratulations to WNBA star Sue Bird.
Let me go look at the statue before I say congratulations, man.
But she still got the statue. She still got it.
The statues be looking some days. They be small, or they just don't be looking like the person.
Right.
That's a dope statue. I'm looking at it right now. That's a nice statue.
Okay, good. They got it right.
Yeah, they got it right. What's up, Morgan?
Hey, y'all. Hey, how we feeling on a Monday?
Good.
All right, good. I love to hear that. Okay, so first on front page, fortunately, there is tragic news that took place over the weekend in New York City. 3 people are dead and several others wounded in an early morning shooting at a nightclub in Crown Heights, Brooklyn. Now, police were called to the Taste of the City nightclub on Franklin Avenue just before 3:30 a.m. They found 3 men dead from gunshot wounds and several others injured. Now, the victims are said to range in age from 19 to 61. The injured were also taken to nearby hospitals for treatment for injuries that appear to be non-life-threatening. Now, NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch, she called the shooting a terrible thing and spoke more about the victims and the investigation. Let's take a listen to NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch's comments.
We have identified 12 victims ranging in age from 19 to 61, 9 males and 3 females. Our crime scene investigators have now recovered 42 shell casings from multiple guns. The shell casings appear to be from 9mm and .45 caliber weapons.
Commissioner Tisch says she believes this tragedy is gang-related and 4 shooters are reportedly involved. She also went on to call the shooting an anomaly with the number of shootings in New York City at record low through the first 7 months of 2025. So far, no arrests have been made in that incident.
There's no way 12 people get shot in a nightclub ranging from the ages of 35, 27, and 19, and nobody got caught. Somebody saw something.
Yeah, of course. Of course. But you think about it. They let off 42 rounds in a club.
How'd they get all them guns in there, first of all?
I have no idea, but 42 rounds in a well, it's not a club. It looks like a restaurant/bar, but still 42 rounds?
They say it's a New York City nightclub.
Well, I think they call anything a nightclub, but when I looked at the pictures, it didn't look that big to me.
Yeah, Taste of the City
Taste of the
Lounge.
City in Brooklyn, yeah. So, meanwhile, New York City Mayor Eric Adams, he addressed the press about the incident, saying that he does plan to take action on mass shootings since there have been a few in recent weeks. And he also called on the public for help, to your point, because somebody saw something. Let's take a listen to New York City Mayor Eric Adams.
We, unfortunately, will have to mobilize a mass shooting plan. Gun violence of this magnitude, it really scars a community and a city. If you witness the event or if you have information, please call Crime Stoppers.
So sad, man.
This follows the recent mass shooting on July 28th, where the Las Vegas man traveled to New York and opened fire at the NFL headquarters in Midtown Manhattan. So, again, I will keep you posted on what takes place and comes of this investigation. In other news, Hurricane Erin continues to batter the Caribbean. The first hurricane of the 2025 Atlantic season has been fluctuating in intensity. It's gone from Category 3 to 5, back to 4, with maximum sustained winds of 130 miles per hour. It also knocked out power on Sunday to tens of thousands across Puerto Rico. The National Hurricane Center says the storm is expected to remain a major hurricane, and it's likely to bring life-threatening surf and rip currents to the East Coast during the week. So, again, watch out if you're swimming on the East Coast and you're along the East Coast and you're at the beach. You know, those rip currents can be deadly, and we don't want to see another incident, like that of Malcolm Jamal Warner. So, just be careful if you're beaching across this week with Hurricane Erin, outer bands hitting the East Coast. And that's your front page news for 6 a.m. at 7 a.m.
Damn, Morgan, you ain't got no good news? Not me, not one. Jesus.
You are here today. You are up and alive. You're black.
There you go.
Can we get a little light of mine or something? Lord have mercy.
This little light of mine.
Let me see if I can find you a good news story. But for now, that's your news. Your front page news at 6 a.m. At 7. We will talk about President Trump's meeting with
Morgan
Russian
said
president.
people got shot, people got killed. There's gonna be hurricanes. You don't want to end up like Michael Jamal Water. Like Jesus.
Oh,
man.
Lord
Right.
Jesus. Don't do me. But yes, we'll talk about President Trump's
And
meeting
today's-
with Russian President Vladimir Putin at 7. So stick around for that information.
Damn, man. Today would have been Michael Jamal Water's 55th birthday. Man.
Yes.
That's right, too. Damn. All right. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get back to some front page news. What's up, Morgan?
Hey, y'all. Hey, okay, so it's shaping up to be a pretty big day at the White House today with President Trump scheduled to sit down with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Now, the Ukrainian leader spoke on Sunday saying that a ceasefire is necessary. It's a necessary step toward reaching a peace deal with Russia. He spoke alongside EU President Ursula von der Leyen in Brussels. Let's take a listen to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky.
It's impossible to do this under the pressure of weapons. So it's necessary to cease fire and work quickly on a final deal.
Yeah, so European and NATO leaders are also traveling to Washington to take part. The offices for German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, and British Prime Minister Keir Starmer are all confirmed to participate in the White House meeting and consider America's new approach to ending the conflict between Ukraine and Russia. Now, on Sunday, Secretary of State Marco Rubio said that any agreement to end conflict would probably have to include some security measures for Ukraine. Now, the high-stakes talks follow Trump's historic summer summit with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Alaska on Friday afternoon. Now, meanwhile, Trump called the summit with Putin productive, but adds that no deal was made. He said some headway was made with Russia and the talks will continue. Let's take a listen to President Trump.
We really made some great progress today. I've always had a fantastic relationship with President Putin, with Vladimir. Many points were agreed to. There are just a very few that are left. Some are not that significant. One is probably the most significant.
It's my belief that the president is referencing a ceasefire deal as the most significant point that needs to be agreed upon.
Yeah, and probably what it takes to get to that ceasefire, because if it requires, Ukraine giving up, land, I'm sure Ukraine isn't with that. And that's why I said today is the day we find out if Trump bowed down to Putin or not, because whatever Trump relays to Zelensky is what Putin told him he wanted last week.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to follow that meeting. Now, Russian President Vladimir Putin agreed with Trump, saying that progress was made in the meeting, and adds says that things would have been different if Trump had been president in 2022. Let's take a listen to Russian President Vladimir Putin's comments via a translator.
Today, when President Trump saying that if he was the president back then, there will be no war. And I'm quite sure that it would indeed be so. I can confirm that. I expect that today's agreements will be the starting point, not only for the solution of the Ukrainian issue, but also will help us bring back business-like and pragmatic relations between Russia and the U.S.
Yeah, so I believe that Russians do want to be able to have that agreement and relationship with the U.S. Putin said an agreement was reached and called the talks constructive, but it is unclear what Putin meant when he was referring to an agreement. And in other news, more Republican-led states are sending National Guard troops to Washington, D.C. The governors of Ohio and South Carolina are sending a combined 350 soldiers to D.C. to assist federal law enforcement. This comes after West Virginia's governor announced he was sending hundreds of troops to D.C. as well. In recent days, President Trump has deployed National Guard troops and federal law enforcement officers to address crime and homelessness in the nation's capital. Their presence has spurred protests across the city, including one that happened on Saturday in DuPont Circle for a march to the White House with demonstrators carrying signs like "No National Guard" and "No ICE." Now, the Trump administration says the federal troops are necessary to crack down on crime and homelessness in the city, but the protesters are calling the troop deployment an abuse of power by the administration. So, again, I will continue to keep you guys posted on that. And if you're looking for some positive news, it's not so much positive, but I think it's an interesting fact. I'll just throw this in there. 6 planets are visible in the sky through Wednesday. This one's for you, Charlamagne. Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus are aligned and can be seen for about 45 minutes before sunset. Now, some will be visible to the naked eye depending on where you are, but binoculars or a telescope could be needed to see Neptune and Uranus. So there you go. It's a celestial parade that's happening with the planets being aligned right now. Hopefully that can bring about some positive energy, but I'm not too sure on that, Charlamagne. So there's your positive news. And that's your front page.
My whole life, I thought it was pronounced Uranus.
I thought it was Uranus too.
Yeah, well, I think Uranus.
Yeah, it is. It actually is pronounced Uranus, but
How y'all know? Who told you that?
when you look it up, it's spelled like that. Why? It's like when they look at the what's the word? You know, the thing when they show you how to pronounce it, phonetic
spelling.
It's Uranus. But I always thought it was Uranus.
I thought it was Uranus too, but you know how y'all gonna take that and run with it. So it's gonna be Uranus this morning, and that's your front page news.
Uranus is more fun.
Yeah, it is, and I've been saying it my whole life. I'm not about to switch up.
Yeah, it's more fun. It's more fun to play with Uranus than it is Uranus.
Uranus.
All right, thank you, Morgan.
All right, y'all, welcome. That's your front page news. I'm Morgan Wood. Y'all can follow me on socials at Morgan Media, and for more news coverage, follow Black Information Network. Download the free iHeartRadio app and visit us at binnews.com. Thank y'all. Have a great week. Great Monday.
All right now.
Wake that ass up. Early in the morning. The Breakfast Club.